I heard that there was a patch, so I guess I'll check it out. I've also heard it was good. That doesn't happen. Supposedly it's supposed to happen tomorrow at midnight. I don't know what midnight it is. If I remember rightly, that used to be like 2 a.m. So I don't know if that's 2 a.m. tomorrow, 2 a.m. today. What the hell? Thunder, the instant fucking sub. What do you mean, cringer? What do you know? You don't know. You don't know nothing. Apparently, my Twitch chat is not working. Fantastic. But it is. It got the message above. Does it not take subscribe messages? That's weird. That's really weird. That it doesn't. That's fucking weird. Also, I don't think I can fix that. I think that's just a Stream Elements thing. Fantastic. Thanks, Stream Elements. Pete's sake. I wonder if Streamlabs is still canceled. Alright, so apparently this is supposed to happen at midnight at some point tomorrow, which could mean that it is going to happen in like an hour, or it could mean that it's going to happen in like 26 hours. Not sure, but in some point in the next 27 hours, this will drop just out of nowhere. Just bug fixes and text fixes. Battle updates. You lied to me. It's more. You lied to me immediately. Changes have been made to some Pokemon. Glaceon. Level 6. Ice Shard and stacking crystals fast makes Icicle Spear and Blizzard too powerful. This is true. I would also argue that Icy Wind... Blizzard? Okay. Is that the name of that? Okay. Ice Shard's attack speed buff has been nerfed. Good. It didn't really need it. It has ice. It has Icy Wind, Icicle Spear, Ice Shard. And what's the other one? It's like the little AOE shot in 2 hours. 2 hours. That's soon. Heck of an emergency patch. Getting serious damage despite being a sure hit. Yeah, no kidding. Welcome to most of the changes you've been making. Damage based on HP has been nerfed, so defenders don't just get shredded. That's good. It was a heck of a defender shredder. Basic attack speed increase down to 60%. Decent. Icicle Spear damage per HP halved. Very nice. That's very nice. So they're not changing how fast. Well, they are changing how fast the basics are, but they're not changing really anything about Icicle Spear in general, or anything about the gameplay style. That's fine. I like that. An Umbreon nerf. That's literally never happened. What the heck? The synergy between Umbreon's high durability and Snarl's ability reduction, no kidding, made it almost impossible to KO. Yeah, no kidding. Snarl's ability reduction amount has been nerfed, no kidding. Oh, wait, really? Oh. Mean Look was low risk, high return, you noticed? So the range, oh, the range has been nerfed on Mean Look. Good. It should be. It was way too far. And cooldown have been nerfed. That's good, because you could effectively just infinite trap a Mon that only had one dash. Which is a lot of them. Yo, BG, you want uppies? Unite will give you uppies. Mean Look range has been reduced by 20%. That's a hefty one. And also good. I think that's roughly about where it should be. Maybe like 3.8, but now you're getting into semantics. It's easier to balance the stuff around Mean Look than it is to like fractionate the range. Cooldown 9 seconds. Respectable. It really is kind of a 10-second move, but if you're going to lower the range, I'm sure that's fine. You're not giving downies, actually. No! What does that mean? If upbees is raising you up, does that mean that they're just like squishing you? Squish. Inteleon nerfs. It's finally happening. It's taken since the inception of the character, but they're nerfing Inteleon. Knife shots from skilled trainers with high accuracy were too powerful. Yeah, no kidding. It was always that way. Oh, the tournament scene. Oh, that's what convinced you to change it. Sure it is. Knife shots damage has been nerfed to reduce its influence in mid-game, specifically. 10% down to 7%. Very nice. And that is acceptable. Those are acceptable changes. Not sure if it's enough, but if they ever nerf Slick Spoon, maybe it'll be enough. Games are horrid. They are horrid. Clefable nerfs, finally. Their healing's never been buffed, and it's only just people are only just now figuring out it was so good. Oh, they're nerfing gravity too. Okay, this cooldown is absolutely warranted. There's a lot of Pokemon that had a lot of trouble actually hitting Clefable because the gravity was up pretty much full uptime aside from like 1 second. So very much appreciated. Especially with Gravity Plus. Like Gravity Plus, it is impossible to challenge a Clefable. Intently. Healing amount 10% to 17% decrease. So the late game decrease is very high, which is very appreciated because the healing numbers on Clefable are kind of absurd. So they finally nerfed Blissey a couple of times, and they've now nerfed Clefable. Now we just need an Eldegoss nerf, and supporters might admit, well, I would rather a Hoopa nerf, you're right. Now we just need another Hoopa nerf, and supporters will almost be balanced. We just need a Hoopa nerf, and we might be good. Miraidon already. It's not even out yet. That's rare. They don't nerf EX Pokemon before their release very often. Although people are getting pretty close to unlocking it for free. Charge Beam has been nerfed since it was dealing serious damage. Not Electro Ball. What's it called? Electro Drift. That's the signature move. Not Electro Drift though. Charge Beam has been nerfed. Thunder has been nerfed. Good. It did way too much damage for how free it was. It's the Delphox Fire Spin all over again, which you also buffed. Damn you. Hey Thunder, you've been nerfed. Get wrecked. Get wrecked, Thunder. You unlocked it yesterday, so it's pretty much out now. Yeah, but not everybody does it every day, I don't think. It's like over the next couple of days that it'll be, like, really free. Yeah, the movement speed decrease is insane. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. It is a third as strong of a movement speed decrease. Thank goodness. You can actually get out of it if you're a character without a dash. Playing against Miraidon as Pikachu was torture because like if Thunder touches you once, you take the full hit. No, like without question. There's nothing you can do about it. You have no dashes, none. Cooldown up to 10 seconds. Appreciate it. Charge beam 13 to 16% decrease. So late game is a little bit bigger nerf. Good. That is appreciated. That's a pretty hefty one. That's a pretty hefty nerf, especially since charge beam is a lot of small hits. So making each of them smaller means that defense is reducing them by a bigger percentage. Fuck you. Top lane nerfs is enough of a nerf to me. So you're saying the Zatu removal was a nerf to you? That's unfortunate. I miss the Zatus. They should be in center. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it until it happens. Or we get a new map, I guess. Thunder Plus, 50% reduct, 50% movement speed decrease it had. Fucking EX numbers if I ever saw them. That's insane. These are so much more reasonable. Scissor Scyther, oh no. Despite the sharp rise in attack from Swords Dance, yeah, no kidding. The attack status increase was modest. Swords Dance has been buffed. Not again, this is what you nerfed the first time. You're just undoing it now. Not again. This is just gonna be Scyther insta-killing people again. You've just undone it. That's all you've done. The damage of dual wing beat is buffed due to the lack of damage. Great. Boosted attack is buffed to allow Scyther to stick to their opponents. Because it didn't have an easy enough time with that already. Oh, Lord. So only Scyther. Well, I guess Scissor gets more damage anyway because Swords Dance was buffed. So Scizor gets a slight attack buff, which I don't appreciate. And Scyther is going to explode squishies yet again. Oh no. They've literally just reverted the nerf. Scyther is going to be just as broken as before. Don't worry, Umbreon will stop it. Oh wait. Yeah. Don't worry, Clefable with Moonlight and Gravity. Oh no. Wait. Oh no. You mean the only two thing? Oh, maybe Lapras will stop it. That's only kind of been nerfed. Oh wait, its only stun is like its ult. Because Scyther certainly ain't gonna stay in Ice Beam long enough to get stunned. And I'm pretty sure you can dash behind Bubble Beam, so I don't think they're stopping it. Buzz can stop it. Buzz could stop it. I was thinking more Blastoise. Blastoise would most certainly stop it. At least they didn't buff Scissor much. Charizard! Oh god, no. Muscle Band has long been one of Charizard's best options due to the recent nerf, or change, really, rework. Number of Muscle Band per single has been reducing main damage source. Yeah, except for, the ult. Oh wait, that was its main damage source. Basic attack damage has been buffed. Ugh. Fantastic. 12%? Fuck's sake. I'm sure nothing bad will come of that. Greedent. Due to previous bug fixes, Greedent became unable to shoot seeds while stunned. This has led to struggle in terms of win rate. Blood seed damage has been buffed. You didn't do anything to fix it? So you're saying that was intentional. It's supposed to not be able to shoot seeds while stunned. That sucks. Wait, that's on purpose? Oh, no. Good. Scissor's survivability against non-mages is stupid. Lapras is mid now? I don't believe that. That ult alone is not mid. I'm pretty sure I saw Lapras in tournament. Greedent got the most pat on the head buff. A slight bullet seed damage increase. That was their band-aid. There, little buddy. Keep trying, I guess. Muscle Band. Fix the issue with Scyther's boosted attack, activating Muscle Band twice. Glad they found that. Fix the issue with Hoopa Unbound's basic, which only activated Muscle Band once when it hit a single Pokemon. Interesting. Several other issues for Muscle Band in the future. So they know of other bugs. Bug fixes, Will-O-Wisp not reducing the cooldown for Hex. I didn't even know it did that. Leafeon, which could use a basic attack immediately after the Aerial Ace empowered basic attack. I thought that was on purpose, and I'm sad. Hornleech missing the final knockup. Haven't noticed. Blazikins overheat changing direction while charging. Now this one was important. That one feels a bit more important. It'd be a shame if special attackers were the meta. What a shame. If only I played any of them often. Too bad all my teammates always lock in special attackers immediately. Fix the issue with low volume of sound effects for Pokemon news. Okay, so that was a problem. I mostly play handheld, so I never really notice. Because I don't really listen to the sound to begin with. Unless I'm actually like ranking. So I've heard people complain about that, but I haven't noticed myself. This is an impressively good patch, except for this. And this. Once again, in the second half, kind of fell off. But the nerfs have been going hard. The buffs have been missing a little bit. The buffs have been missing a little bit, but the nerfs have been hitting hard, and I'd say that that's better. It doesn't matter if the buffs miss that badly, as long as the nerfs the next time hit hard. And these are good nerfs. These are good nerfs for Pokemon that have needed them for a very long time, and one that has needed it, well, since it was released. Which you could argue is a very long time. There's an argument there. I don't know how strong it is, but it's there. Zard buffs aren't much, not gonna lie. Muscle Band change was a huge nerf for Zard. The only time I fought a Zard was when it ulted and wiped most of my team, so I couldn't tell you. They were a very bad team, so I don't know how that tracks, but still hate it. I definitely still hate it. So if this is gonna come out in an hour and a half, that's pretty dope. I don't know about best patch of all time, but it might be because I don't remember very many good ones. That didn't also have this second half problem. They had me in the They had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what it is, but they just cannot buff things. It always goes wrong. Whenever they try to buff stuff, it just always goes wrong. It took like what 8 buffs for Garchomp to not be bottom tier. They need to stop changing the autos for Zard and buff the moves. I don't know about buffing the moves. They just need to rework the moves. It's like the autos are supposed to not do very much damage. It's just that Zard's chase is too good. You can't buff its damage as long as Flamethrower gives it so much. Flamethrower and Ult give it such a stupid amount of chase. Like it has like some of the best poke for like a non-mage in the game. And Fire Blast is like such good zone control. On top of it having insane chase. It's too much. It's too much. It needs to have less mobility or it needs to do no damage, like it has been doing. Every time they nerf its damage, it pretty much becomes a Pokemon that you play like a mage, and then they buff its damage again, and then it becomes just this bruiser that you can't do anything about. They just keep going back and forth with it. You just need to fix it. Just change it. And stop making it auto at all. And the autos are just like the best chase in the game. Just leave it. Just leave it alone. Let it do nothing. Or fix the fix the flamethrower so it's not stupid. But they shouldn't be if flamethrower is so stupid. Its mobility is too stupid for the autos to be the damage. Because if the autos are the damage, then it turns into Garchomp, except with an insane amount of mobility. It needs to be the opposite of Garchomp, where like the autos do nothing, but the moves are good. It doesn't though, because of Flamethrower. You don't have to get an auto range to do it. You Fire Blast, and then you Flamethrower, and then you're just dancing around them like it's a joke, like it's funny. And then when you're in ult, like you can just chase them perfectly, staying right on the edge of range, and there's nothing anyone other than Buzzwole can do about it. Or Slowbro. Like Buzzwole walking around and having a laugh is the main reason that Charizard isn't even in good right now. Buzzwole just being able to meme on Charizard in its ult is the reason Charizard is not good right now. Because otherwise, Charizard ult just kind of memes on an entire enemy team and guarantees at least one kill of a squishy. Which is extremely valuable. But it doesn't get to do that because if it ults, a Buzzwole is just going to meme on it. And if its basics are most of its damage, then ult just turns it into a juggernaut, which is exactly the problem that they have had pretty much the entire time. Is that Charizard ults, and all of a sudden there's nothing you can do about it. It goes full Gengar. Right? Where like a Charizard ults and all of the squishies have to back off or they die. And there's nothing you can do about it. Leafeon kind of just one-shots it too. Leafeon kind of one-shots everything. And that's only with ult anyway. If a Leafeon ults something else, it does not one-shot a Charizard. Especially not with ult. They didn't touch it, which is also weird. I don't know why they don't nerf Solar Blade. It's dumb. They just keep not nerfing Solar Blade for some reason. I don't know why. It's so strange. I mean, yeah, I guess EV privilege. Look how long it took them to nerf Glaceon again. Which they technically haven't ever properly nerfed before. I think this is the first time that Glaceon has been nerfed that wasn't a trade. I think every other Glaceon change has been something got buffed, something got nerfed. Or like they buffed one part of a move and nerfed another. I think this is the first time it's ever just been a straight nerf. So EV privilege, I guess. I can't think of any other reason. Like Solar Blade has way too much range. It's way too easy to hit. Charge is too fast. And you get it at level 5. Insanity. Madness. Great madness. Still good patch, though. Very good nerfs. This patch is wrong. Interesting. Wonder what's wrong about it. The first half feels like it would probably be what they would say. Also strange, because this is an official Pokemon thing, but that doesn't stop them before. The actual patch notes always seem to be different on the actual game. Dual Wing Beat didn't get nerfed, Double Hit did. Well, it was a buff, so that's weird. Buffed, gah. Which is significantly less scary. That makes a lot more sense. If Double Hit got buffed, that makes a lot more sense with its damage going up. Still stupid, and I really don't want to see that, but I certainly would. I certainly don't want Scizzor's damage increased. Or, no, I certainly don't want Scyther's damage increased. Scizor already does a lot of damage, but it's a lot of damage over a very long period. So it could be. I certainly would prefer it. And also, Scizor just kind of falls over if you hit him with a special attack. Scizor just kind of turns into paper, which it's a trade-off. It does take quite a while for Scizor to get going, but it does get going pretty hard against the physical attackers. And then it looks like a Ninetales and just kind of dies. Yeah, I'm fine with double hit taking a buff, especially over dual wing bait. That's a good change. That honestly makes this a little better. Not by much. This is fine. If this is double hit, that's fine too. Eh. This is reverting a previous nerf that you already did. Which I feel like they don't do very often unless it is an emergency nerf. So this is probably the strangest buff out of all of these. I think by far. I think I think it's the strangest change in total. I feel like that's just weird because that is specifically a nerf that they did before, which I feel like they almost never revert unless it's an emergency nerf. Weird. Weird, but such is life. Not everything makes sense. That's gonna influence my opinion on fake nerfs in the future. Fake changes. Now if they're just reverting a previous nerf, I can't just say they never do that. Now they do. Strangest change is Greedent didn't get bug fixed. Well, according to this, it wasn't a bug. According to this, this is intended. You're supposed to get stunned, which why? That feels like it just completely ruins Bullet Seed in general. Like, having it do more damage doesn't really fix that. Except for farming, which, I mean, hey, I'm happy with Bullet Seed farming better. Happy about Bullet Seed getting better farming. Having it be worse in combat, not super worth. This weird. Gatlu's in shambles. Gatlu is in absolute shambles, even though they don't really play Credent that much anymore. And the same reason I don't really play Zero anymore. It's basically impossible to make it viable. Not full on impossible, but you're investing maybe like 3 times the effort of a normal character to get mid results at best. I guess it's not really mid results anymore. There can pop off again, barely. Oh well. I guess for now we just pray that these buffs are good enough and that Electro Drift isn't broken. As broken, I should say. Isn't as broken. Because it's certainly broken. Its damage numbers are quite frankly insane. But at least I think you can get stunned out of Electro. Well, not stunned out of Electro Drift, but you're at least vulnerable during Electro Drift. Like, you have to go in. Barely. It's barely, but you do have to go in, and with the amount of stun in this game, and then the amount of sure hit stun in this game, at least Electro Drift is punishable. Right? Leafeon ulting out of a Guardy Moonblast is a dead Miraidon. Hot take, but make Zera ult 89 seconds. If you unnerf it, gladly. I will gladly take long Zera ult in exchange for it just obliterating squishies again. If it just does like 2300 damage and just erases a squishy, that sure. Heck, that might be a buff. That'd be a hell of a trade-off. Just make it so that any team that just hugs its Blastoise gets obliterated. 89 seconds is extremely fast. Is it? I don't remember. What is it now? I thought it was already like 80. Or am I thinking of Pikachu? Maybe I'm thinking of Pikachu. Is it 100? It's 112 right now. I thought it was much faster. What am I thinking of? I must be thinking of Pikachu. Hold on. Where's Unite DB? What am I thinking of? It is 112. Who am I thinking of? I am thinking of Pikachu. Pikachu has 89 seconds. I'm a fool. I'm a foolish fool. Also, I was thinking that Pikachu was 80, not 89. Yeah, 89 is like every fight. Zero ult at 89 seconds, I feel like isn't too much of a change just because he farms so well. Zero farms so well that honestly 112 is already like ult every fight. You can honestly just like ult every fight with Zero already. Discharge is like one of the best farm moves in the game. Wild Charge, not so much. Not so much. But Spark is pretty good farming too. Average ult is like 112 seconds. Yeah, but that's not average ult on Speedster because they just have so much more farm. They get it so much faster, especially since they tend to die in team fights, which just gives you like 10% free. And you're very rarely gonna die with ult on a Speedster. Not even showing you guys. 112. Sure hit. What a surprise. This is just counted as a melee move. I wonder if Inteleon's Snipe Shot is just considered a ranged. Is it just called ranged? Yep, Snipe Shot is just a ranged. I guess that's the closest to skill shot that they have. It is a ranged or a melee move if you have to actually aim it. How much damage does this do on average? What does a level 10 Inteleon's Snipe Shot look like? About a thou. Doesn't feel like that. Flick Spoon is a hell of a drug. I also didn't know that its range influenced its damage. Oh, it ignores special defense based on distance. That's stupid. That explains a lot. Why did they make Slick Spoon? Why? Why did they even make it? Why? I don't understand. Gengar is probably guaranteed worst in the game now. Be pretty hard to find something else. This has Dive Slash, this has Dragon Dance, this has Miraidon and Mewtwo X. Uh, this has Dies to Stun. Well, it's still valuable. It still scores a lot. Same with this. This still scores a lot. These are scoring alone probably makes them better than Gengar right now. Any offenders? Ult alone. Any offenders down here that pretend like they might be bad Pokemon? Nah. Too many niche options that make it very valuable. All of its moves might not be impressively good, but combined, they work out pretty well. Nah. Heavy slam block is just so much zoning. It's so much control. Yeah, maybe there's an argument for Talon, but not by much. Talon is great, but without ult, it is almost assuredly going to die. A Talon without ult is just dead in the water. I would go so far as to say Gengar is impossible to balance without making it a menace in solo. I would go so far as to say it's not possible. Because even right now, with it being the worst character in the game, a Gengar in ranked can absolutely just wipe your entire team because they're bad. And not even like bad, just like kind of bad. Hmm. Whoops. It is, but again, without ults, you can just explode. Without ult, you are just going to explode. Usually worth it. Usually worth it, but it's still quite the cost. There's a question. Who do you think is worse than Talon that isn't Gengar? Who do you think's worse than Talon right now? Would you say that anyone on this list is worse? Don't say Scizor. Exactly why I say it's worth it. And why I would say that it is not a bad character. But there's certainly an argument for a lot of teams that run like two defenders, where it's just like, all right, Talon has killed the carry, but the defenders are sure as heck gonna hold out. Dura and Water Urshi? I don't know. I wouldn't say that they're worse than Talon. I wouldn't say that Dura is anywhere near worse than Talon. Guitar could see. Dragonite? That's rough, but fair. Zera? Come on now. Less consistent, so I guess Azu would be worse. I don't know about perfect. Fly still has a hard time. Especially with eject button, Fly has a real hard time. Like in competitive with no ping games, I feel like you could just eject button out of a Talon's attack, even if you didn't see it coming. You could just react to the slight tell. Brave bird or Fly? I'd be surprised if Fly was having success, because you would have to burn an eject button on pretty much every single Fly that you used. Yeah, Brave Bird mostly. It has versatility. The problem is punishment. You're punished so hard for missing. Well, I mean, at this point, even are or even Brave Birds are using Flame Charge at this point. I don't know why, but they are. I don't know, right? I don't know why either. It's so weird. I mean, mobility, I guess, but eh, eh. I don't understand it. Most of the talons I see lately are Brave Bird Flame Charge, and it's weird. I don't get it. I mean, even beyond that, I would just say that the damage has more value. The Aerial Ace damage is insane, even without a reset. I wonder what other changes we really have left that we need. This is a pretty good patch, though we could still probably use Bit of a hit to this one. Dragon Dance buff. Not much. Not a lot of standout characters that I would just go change this. Change it now. This one. Probably this one. Too much stun. It's too much. It's too much. Oh, long time no see from Drag. Buzzwole, that's true. I always forget that that needs a nerf because I keep playing Leech Life. And then Superpower just makes stuff explode when they have too much stun. Then they play Superpower and they just explode. Crazy that these are basically the same game plan, except this one is like 10 times easier to do because it works off of assists. This one has more health and it works off of assists, and that alone makes this S tier. And this, like, I don't know, what would Dragon Bolt, what would Dragon Dance be rated right now? C? Probably C. Maybe D even. Desi nerfs, interesting. I could see it. Vino has needed a nerf since forever. Honestly, all three of the tier ones needed nerfs. I don't know about nerfing these two outside of just nerfing Slick Spoon. I feel like that's the nerf they really need. I would much rather just like to see Slick Spoon not be so stupid. And Serena buffs. Eh. I forgot they buffed that ult into Oblivion. 89 seconds. Madness. I still think most of that would be fine if it just didn't have so much damage. Moonblast shouldn't stun for 2 seconds, but if everything it had just did less damage, it would be better. Well, that's part of the gimmick. That one you kind of just have to take. That's just part of Guardy's gimmick. You have to balance everything else around that. I wouldn't say that Moonblast has a bullshit hitbox. I would say what's bullshit is the fact that it after it hits, it has an AoE that also stuns. That's what's stupid about it. All right, it doesn't just damage; it stuns behind it. That's what makes it bullshit. Also, I don't know why, but it does like a ton of damage. Like, why does it do that much damage? Why does it give it this much shield? Like, that's stupid. This is stupid. They shouldn't do this. Why does it do this? It shouldn't do this. Like what Dream Eater was, it wasn't that bullshit, but it's really close. It's really close, but it's not that bullshit. At least not, pre nerf. Post nerf, about the same. 6 seconds on this madness. That's less of a cooldown than Psychic. Why? You making no sense. Honestly, at this point, all the cooldowns on Guardy don't make any sense. It's like Psyshock does like a solid over 3,000 damage. Why? Why does it do that? It's on less than a 10-second cooldown with mage cooldown reduction, and yet it does like 3k or more. This is without like either Slick Spoon or like any magic buffing items. Madness. True. I'd still say though that before nerfing the actual characters, it's just Slick Spoon needs to be dealt with. Because there's just so many characters that all but rely on it because it's so good that you use it on almost literally every single special attacker in the game. Like the few exceptions are like you, maybe Hoopa, and you and the supports. It's stupid. It's the best mage in the game because they nerfed all the other ones. Well, purportedly. I believe it. I'm pretty sure Guardy is the one that was right behind Miraidon. What's not true? Oh, nerfed all other mages, right. I mean, that's fair, but Pikachu has been nerfed in the past. Not the Shandy buffs. Didn't they buff its other move? I thought they buffed its other one. What was it? Didn't they buff Flamethrower? Pretty sure they did. Why? Why do you have a stun at level 1? Not like this. This stun has bothered me so much. Every time I'm in lane with a Shandy, I hate this. This one stun that I feel like it shouldn't have. It's so annoying. Just this one stun that is fully non-telegraphed. So annoying. He was pretty busted, but I do not think that it would be as... I don't think it's good as Guardy. I think Mew has been worse than Guardy for a while at this point. How cracked Dwebble Rock Slide is. That's because it's so cracked that it evolves them into Crustle within like 2 minutes. They evolve like immediately. It's like the problem with like Pupitar, not Pupitar. It's like the problem with Larvitar, where it's like Larvitar is actually really good, but the problem is that being good with Larvitar immediately catapults you into being Pupitar, which is like awful. So it being good just nerfs you. And Dwebble has that same problem, where Rock Slide is goated until it evolves you. At which point you get, if I remember rightly, you either get Rock Tomb or Rock Smash, which is a significant downgrade to kind of everything. It's less stun, it's less damage. Yeah, you get these at level 4. So, like, Rock Slide is really good until it gets replaced by something that gets better later. So that's why it's kind of hard to praise Dwebble Rock Slide. They should swap Rock Slide with Shell Smash. So you just keep you could just keep Rock Slide forever. I mean, honestly, that would make more sense in terms of its gameplay. You use Shell Smash to get a bunch of stacks in the early game, but you have a hard time securing, like a defender is supposed to. You wouldn't be able to tell, considering how good the early game defenders are. And then you evolve the damage move. That stuns. Which honestly does just make more sense. That honestly just makes more sense in terms of move progression. In EV meta, and it pops their passive from halfway around the map. True! This is true! It's just because it has the tiniest slow. Well, I guess it's not a tiny slow. It's 60%, but, you know. This is true. Movement speed reduced by 80. Crazy. It's hard to tell because it just traps you in anyway. So the movement speed reduction, not really that important. It's like something having a slow and a stun. Oh wait, that's most of Espeon. It might as well just be a stun at this point. Except that would stop you from using your moves. Well, that depends on whether or not they have an eject button, but not super worth to have a move with a 5-second cooldown burn an eject button. That's not great. Run over. I like to imagine a Rock Smash X's or Crustle just running you over. I would call that a car crash. Agility, no dash, teleport. No dash. Unless they take Electro Drift. Which I wouldn't. I don't think I would really call that a mage at that point. Battle Mage, maybe. Yeah, Battle Mage. Sure. Call it that. It doesn't really have a way to go over the wall, but you're not trapped. It's not trapped in there with you. You're trapped in there with Blastoise. Like, yeah, sure, Blastoise can't get over the wall, and it doesn't want to. And push, it can push a Letty to enemy goal. That's silly. What? That's silly. No dash. No dash. Oh, well, actually, acrobatics could probably get over the wall. No dash. Yeah, pretty much the only ones that can get over the wall are Mew and Mewtwo-Y. But Mewtwo-Y is an SDC, not really a mage. And Mew's and the odds that Mew is on agility is not super high. I kind of like a 50, a little less than a 50-50. Strange. Very strange. No dash. Forgot to mention that one. No dash. Does have a dash, but only with Aurora Veil. Technically has a dash, but I don't think Icy Wind goes over Rock Tomb. Mystic Fire does. Mystic Fire does get over the wall. I mean, I know it will push them, but it pushes them such a small amount. It does it such a small amount, I wouldn't imagine anyone would actually be able to get Regieleki in. This is kind of a mage. More of an STC, though. No dash. That's true. When they're defending goal, Regieleki likes to just get right up on it. That's true. Aleki do be getting right up on the goal. Power World Trainer. Is there already a Power World site? That's amazing. Oh, let's go. I needed a breeding combo. I need a breeding combo generator. Am I picking the parents or am I picking what I want? Okay, so it's I think it's sorted in reverse PAL ID order. Oh, it gives you both. How convenient. I need a Rayhound and a Dinossum. Noted. Or just 2 Dynawesome Luxes. Let's go. I can get an Anubis. Sick. Gee, I wonder how this happened. Interesting. Dynawesome is dominant. A Dynawesome Lux and a Dynawesome will just give you a Dynawesome. Dynawesome Lux is the receding trait. Recessive. Did you see Alex's post about the server? Yeah, I had a feeling it was gonna end soon. It's been about a month. And Alex hasn't played for like a week. Shame though, I never did get that shiny Dynawesome. I also never caught the legendaries. Oh well. I've just been playing on Shay's server. You don't see people all that often except for the beginning of the game. Although it's like default settings. So much longer game. We'll probably be back to 4-player servers, yeah. I'll probably do one last stream soon where I just take down the bosses. And that'll probably be the last of Alex's server. Unless it's already dead. This is very convenient. I needed this for shiny hunting. Luminosity Gaming. Let's go, Luminosity. Luminosity Gaming. Oh, Blue would like to play Power with us. I didn't know they had it. That's great. They can be in with freshmen. They can be on freshman's team. Or mine, I guess, because I don't know if Alex is gonna play with us. Did you hear about LG's cheating scandal? Noms told me that they subbed somebody in, but I don't know if there has been any new news. I don't know about anything else. Did anything new happen? Oh yeah, well, I guess that's a buff, so that's not really a patch that we need to worry about too much. I'm much more concerned with nerfs, which is mostly just like Blastoise, Guardy, Trev, and Leafeon right now. Venu could probably also use it, but I mean, just revert the alt nerf, make Hyper Beam less stupid about it. It's a shame Mew Electro Ball didn't get buffed along with Pikachu's. That would have been funny. The captain scanned someone off 4K? Really? That's what the heck, man. That's awful. Which one's the captain? Or do they have like a like an official team captain who's not a player? Does not need buff, please. But it would be funny. It would be funny if because they buffed Pikachu, they had to buff Electro Ball. That would be a really funny thing. It's not a stream convo. Sorry to the 10 people who watch my VODs. No gossip for you. That's not true. It's been 40 before. I've had 40 people watch a VOD before. Which, shout out to you. Don't know why you're here, but cool. Thanks. We appreciate you. No gossip for you. I remember the good old days when this was broken. On second thought, maybe they weren't that good. I remember when the roster looked like this. This was all there was. There was like that many Pokemon in the game. That's not true. It was more like this many. Not far off though. This used to be like the entire roster. There was only like 20. 19. Dang it, I was off by one. Sorted in rows of 10. Dang it. It would have been so easy. If only I counted. How many was it to begin with? Was Blissey in the release game? I can't remember. It's been a while. It must have been, right? There's no way we started with 3 supporters. There's no way we only had 3. Blissey must have been in release. The attacker list is the roster after like a year. It wasn't. I knew it, but I didn't want to admit it. Did we really only have 3 supporters when the game released? Jeez. That's rough. Yeah, we did only have 3 supporters when the game released. Gosh, that's so weird to think about. This is the roster after like a year. Unfortunate. It feels like we have more attackers, doesn't it? It feels like we have more than this. Because, like, look, we only have 10 defenders, but it feels like we have so many. And, like, all rounders, we have just as many. All rounders and attackers alone make up like half the game. More than half. Jeez. They make up more than half by themselves. Although, if you take a physical attack and special attack separate, they're about even with like the others. There's about 10 of each. There's about 10 of the others. All rounder though, this is inexcusable. Why are you here? Why are you not? Why are you not special attack? Look at this. None. Why is there no special attack all rounder? Why are you physical attack? Why? I don't understand. This Blessy is like 3rd or 4th release. I know, like, what was it? Guardy was first. Guardy was first. We got Blastoise really early. Who else was a really early addition? Mamo was pretty early, but I don't think it was that early. Bessie wasn't too long after. We started with you. Gosh, they've been in the game so long, I can't even remember. Why is every all-rounder melee? Well, this one isn't. Charizard is most certainly not melee. Unless you pick, Fire Punch, Flare Blitz. Even then, they're only kind of pseudo melee. Yeah. These two are kind of the only pseudo melees. Everything else is pretty pure melee. So does Venu. I mean, Venu is absolutely in the same way that Scyther is a speedster and Scizor is a defender. Venusaur is absolutely an all-rounder. You cannot convince me otherwise. This one's also a defender. So much so that like the main Unite tier list maker has this as a defender because they are. Let's be real. They are a defender. You barely see Fire Punch. That's because flamethrower Fire Blast is like the best kite in the game. Not taking it is just a waste. Used of an extremely good chase kit. Now I don't know about melee attacker. Let's not go crazy. It's you could call it pseudo melee at absolute worst, but that boosted has stupid range. All right, that boosted has ranged attacker range. It is far as fuck. Gudra's an all-rounder. Gudra's an all-rounder only if you exclusively look at its damage. You would have to exclusively look at its damage to call that an all-rounder. Goddamn. No difference. $6,000 health at level 10. Not bad. Kind of squishy for a defender. The first half of the patch is great. The second half of the patch is kind of worthless, except for Scyther that they kind of really buffed for some reason. Gudra's a better bad player stomper than most. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of characters that I feel do it better. I would say that the only thing that makes Gudra a bad player stomper is just people standing in a line. If you don't stand in a line, Gudra has a pretty hard time. It's just that even top players have a problem with not standing in a line because mages like to stand behind the defender. Otherwise, like acid shot is just going acid spray is just going to beeline them right to you. But if you stand in front of the defender, Gudra gets double the healing. His weakness is not fighting it at all. Well, I mean, it's only not fighting it at all when it has Dragon Pulse up. All you have to do is move in circles while Dragon Pulse is there, and you just have to not stand in a line. Honestly, you could get away with just not standing in a line, as long as the two of you aren't behind each other. As long as two people aren't behind each other, you can jump Gudra. Unless they have Muddy Water. But then they need a healer, so it's never a 2v1. It's always a 2v2. A Clefable behind a Gudra is a dangerous thing. Inteleon is a speedster. Well, if you look at its damage numbers, that's also correct. Although they nerfed it, so maybe not so much anymore. If they would nerf Slick Spoon. .5 second cooldown for 3 uses is pretty crazy. Only 3 uses of this is pretty insane. Especially since you're guaranteed to crit, which I believe doubles damage. Oh, that's right, it's Inteleon, so it's more than double damage. And so yeah, this is like almost two. This is almost 2,500 damage. You have a range speedster, Gengar. You could also argue Solar Blade. I would argue Solar Blade is ranged. You want a ranged assassin? It's an attacker. What's a good assassin in the attackers? Yeah, that'll do it. Kinda this one too. Kinda this one too. You. Kinda. Hmm. It depends on how you define attacker, because it's like it's high damage at long range, but you don't have to go in. So, eh. Yeah, kinda. Although they have nerfed it. The nerfs make it feel a lot more balanced, I'll be honest. Phantom Force Dragapult feels a lot more reasonable. Yeah, I'd say the only like real assassin would probably be Greninja. But I would kind of say like Mew, Pikachu, Glaceon can kind of pseudo assassin, since like they just kind of have to just get you just within range, and then they can, which is like roughly equivalent to a dash. I would say that it is good in those things if you can get an early lead. It's just that competitive is really never going to give you an early lead. 5 stack, you can. I would say that you could. Not often, but, you know, once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, you'll get somebody who's inting for, well, not inting for stacks, but somebody who goes in for a stack and dies for it. And then the ganking Greninja comes in for the kill. Well, probably not high ladder, because it's just going to be all of this top tier BS. It's going to be like a Mimikyu. Gonna be like a Mimikyu Umbreon with like a Miraidon in the back. Probably a Mewtwo. Maybe a Slowbro. You're not ganking any of that. You're fucked. You're not ganking that shit. None of them are even weak. None of them even have low health. You're fucked. You're done, son. You're done. He isn't top tier either. Yeah, but it's not something you're gonna gank and just like win. Like if you're ganking a Mimikyu, you're still kind of ruined. And between it just ignoring your first hit and being able to hit you from across the map, it's not gonna be a good gank. Not gonna be a good time. Does it not get Shadow Sneak first? Huh. Today I learned. It's Play Rough first. Ugh. Ugh. It's probably even worse to gank against, honestly. Ah, you hit me. Well, I ignored that hit. I'm invincible now. Die. What a good gank. You hit them, they ignored the damage, and then they turned invincible. Yeah, one of the rare skill shots that was added. Yeah, if it touches it, that's when it's really fucked. If it hits a tank with it, it is super fucked. Then it aims the Shadow Claw backwards. I'd say that's probably the main weakness of Mimikyu in general, is just standing behind a tank. Or should I just say standing behind Blastoise, because that's probably who it's going to be. Umbreon's just going to face check it. Go ahead, hit me. I dare you. I fucking dare you to get in range of this mean look. I remember that with Zera for the longest time. A character being better than Zera and still being mid. Fantastic. That's the thing that's annoying about Mimikyu, is that in the 1v1, it's just awful. It's just awful to fight against it in a 1v1. I wonder what random Pokemon they're gonna decide needs a buff next time. Maybe just Machamp for no reason. A random Machamp buff. Maybe an Aegislash. Yeah, the bones, that's what I meant to say. God, I hope they don't do a random Absol buff again. Good lord, that was miserable. That was terrible. If they picked a speedster to randomly buff, they would all be bad. None of them are a good idea to buff. That's a terrible idea for all of them. Not a single one. Yeah, that's exactly the actually it's weaker than it was before they buffed it last time. That is absolutely that has absolutely no bearing on who they are gonna buff. Just for no reason. Just oh hey, a Lucario buff. We haven't buffed that in a while. Let's just buff that for no reason. It sounds miserable. Knowing them, they would probably buff Bone Rush. The plus version. Well, I'm just saying, like, if they buffed something, I just wonder what they would randomly buff. Because you know it's not something that would make sense. And I'm just wondering what character that they could think is doing poorly that would need a buff. That doesn't make any sense. There's not a lot of good options. Maybe a cram buff? A rare cram buff? Maybe another Wiggly buff? That's beyond future sight. This is the only move on any of the EVs no one's using anymore, so let's buff that. Why not? It would be so funny. It's funny too because I heard someone the other day. I can't remember where I heard it, but I heard someone complain about about an Espeon taking future sight. I was like, "What's wrong? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Why did you take Psybeam? What?" I mean, like, yeah, sure, Psybeam does stupid damage, but come on now. Not throwing, picking future sight. Come on now. Yaskarada really needs a nerf. I haven't fought any. Well, no, that's not true. I did fight one today. But I never saw them ult, and I think I won every interaction, because... Oh, come now. Don't be dramatic. Don't be so dramatic. Did it? Interesting. Were they just using every move? Was there a specific build that was dominating? That's interesting. I haven't watched March Cup yet. Oh, was Maridon banned from March Cup? I didn't think about that. He probably was the best mage at March Cup then. Flower Trick specifically. Interesting. Let's read up a little on Mascarada's moves. Yeah, this passive is so unbelievably good. The power creep is wild. Movement speed. How much damage does this do again? Vague idea. Damn! Hot damn! Holy shit! Jesus Christ! What the fuck? And it's an execute. Jesus Christ. Holy crap. God damn. God damn. That's insane. What did they overbuff on the ult? Per tick. Holy shit. Doesn't it have like 12? It has 13 ticks. What do you mean it does 500? That's over 6,000 damage. Holy shit. That's at level 10. That's when you get it. Oh my god. What the hell? Oh my god. No wonder people use a eject button on this ult. Holy shit. Is that real? That's without items. That's without like energy amp or anything. Oh my god. Is this Jesus Christ? Oh my god. What does a late game look like? Oh my god. That's like almost 8,000. That's like over 8,000 damage. At 13. That's a reasonable level to have it right. What the hell? 8,000? What the hell? That's so much damage. What the hell was in that buff? Oh, Flourish buffed. Cooldown reduced. Cooldown reduced. It was just a cooldown? What, did it always do this much damage? Oh my god. Oh no, it was the most they buffed its cooldown again. And again. Here it is. It's to 70%. So it's only 7% buff. And the base was increased by like 17. Good lord. That was a hell of a buff. Oh my god. Jesus. That is, I think, the stupidest damage numbers I've ever seen. Oh my god. Why? Why would you do this? The ult certainly didn't. I can say that for certain. Good lord. Battle Pass skin is why. Well, I mean, it also was a new Pokemon, so they were probably planning on buffing it anyway. Good fucking lord. 100-second cooldown for that. 100 seconds. Good lord. So this is why everyone runs a eject button on this. Make absolutely certain they get hit by every tick. How have I not been seeing more? How have I not been seeing more mascaradas? They must all be in Masters by now. Good lord. That's so stupid. Why? And this does 2k on a 4-second cooldown with items. Jeez. %50 crit rate. Oh, Absol. Fancy meeting you here. $65%. Hot dang. Or makes an assist. They've really just been making every character better Dragapult, haven't they? Why is Dragapult the only character that needs the actual kill? Come on, man. Because it takes skills when they play Leafeon. Reminds me of Zera versus Zoroark. And Glaceon is to get too close for me to think it's as good as Miraidon. Miraidon's damage at range is too stupid. It's too much damage from too far away. No, I wouldn't think you were lying, because again, I've seen very few good Meowscaradas, and Leafeon is Solar Blade go burr. Like, what's the comparison on Solar Blade's damage? This is the only one you don't. Look at this! Look at this! That's not even the max one! Look at this! This is with no items! This is with no items! This is insane! Win on a team with 4 other evolutions, gains +1 base attack. That's fun. It gets just enough to get 400 attack at level 10. That's fun. Like, look at this fucking damage. That's insane. On a 6-second cooldown. That's insane. That's almost more damage than Flower Trick, but it goes off faster. And he has cooldown reduction. 20%! That's like a mage! That's a mage's cooldown reduction. That's default. That's without any items. It's insanity. They also have this, but I mean, Jesus Christ. Still does less damage by almost a full 1,000 with extra items and stuff. That's like almost a 1,500 less damage. It's insane. Good old Glaze passive. Also, Solar Blade has way more range than Flower Trick does. Solar Blade's range is stupid. And you can move during it, which is rough. Madness. Why? Why? Explain this to me. Why? What kind of speedster needs damage reduction? What? What? How much defense does Zera get when they're using discharge? Just to compare? I wonder. How much shield? 300? One basic attack? It gets one basic attack? Cool. Thanks. 40% damage reduction for Leafeon. 3 minutes until patch. True. Might as well stream it at this point. Sarah gets one basic attack of shield with discharge at level 10. One basic attack. That's criminal. Patch is out. My controller is dying. Did I get patched? No. Gosh, that's loud. Volt Switch should have more range? That would be wild. Damn, if Volt Switch had more range, that would be really good. I think I need to leave the game and update. Yeah. Hold on. Oh. Doesn't say I need to update. Strange. Oh, there it goes. Bug fixes, text fixes. Speaking of text fix, does it have the Scyther Scissor? Swords Dance effects on the user strengthened. Oh, it says Scyther on these ones. Interesting. Scyther boosted attack, Scyther double hit. Damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased. It kicked you out? Didn't kick me out. I had to back out. Interesting. I'm fine with double hit being buffed instead. Brush patch. Glaceon nerf, Umbreon nerf, Inteleon nerf, Clefable nerf, Miraidon nerf, love to see it. No one got buffed that I play, so can't play any buffs. Just the Glaceon nerfs though. They nerfed what? Icicle Spear and something else? Icicle Spear and Ice Shard. My build. My build. My build's been... Oh boy. Oh cool, just 3 crits for 1600, no big deal. Ratio was sparing down. That's what I want to see nerfed next, Ray Shield. You know what I want? I want Ray Shield to not buff your damage anymore, and instead buff your movement. That's what I want. I want Ray Shield to buff movement speed instead. I think that would be way less simple. Thoughts? Opinions? Questions? Comments? Complaints? I will catch you guys in the next stream. Bye guys. Bye. Peace.